Dear students, welcome to another video tutorial on programming concept using C. And today's topic is C programming fundamentals. Myself, Niladji Shekhar Pal. I am working as an assistant professor at Computer Science and Engineering Department at Greater Kolkata College of Engineering and Management (JIS). The college is situated at Baroipur. So, what is the structure of a C programming language? As we know, the C program is a structure-oriented programming language. Okay, so a C program has the following forms. Number one is preprocessor commands. So at first, this is the C preprocessor commands. Okay, so it will be the at the first beginning of the C programming language. Okay, like hash include stdio.h, hash include conio.h. These hash includes are called the preprocessor commands. Type definition. Type definition means type of a integer or type may be a function. Okay, that is type can be integer, float, char. Okay, what is the data type basically or the function type? Data type means which types of data can be stored, and the function type means which type of data it will return. Next one is function prototype. As I have told that function prototype and type definition are same. Okay, function to prototype means the type of value it will return. Okay, so the function whose value the function will return. Next one is variable. Variable means variable is a keyword which stores the value of. Okay, so it basically stores a value. Okay, a value can be integer, a value can be float, a value can be character. Next, the function. Function is a set of code. Okay, which performs a specified work. Okay, so now we will do our C program. Okay, and then we will understand what is preprocessor commands, what is type definition, what are the function prototype, what are the variables, and what are the functions. Okay, if we do a C program, then it will be easier for us to understand. So let's do the first C program. See, this is our C editor. Okay, to write a program, we will go to the file, new, source file. Okay, so let's start our first C program. So hash include stdio.h. Okay, hash include conio.h. Okay, so this hash include stdio.h and conio.h. Okay, this hash include is called the preprocessor directive, as we have told that these are the preprocessor directive, and this stdio.h and conio.h, these are the two header files. Header files basically are used because all the library functions are stored within this header file. Okay, so this is stdio.h and this is conio.h. stdio.h means standard input output. Okay, and conio.h means console input output. Okay, next we will write int. Okay, so this is a main function. Okay, this is the function. Program execution. Program execution will start from this main function. Okay, and this int is the prototype of the function. That means which value this main will return. Okay, or what type of value this function will return. Okay, and this is the parenthesis. Okay, we pass the parameters within this parenthesis. Okay, so we write this is now the printf function. Okay, so okay, so within the printf I have written my first C program. Okay, this is called a new line character. Okay, and what is the string that will write within this double quotation that will print. Okay, and this is the printf is the library function. Okay, and it will be terminated by a semicolon. This is the opening bracket and this is the closing bracket. Okay, so these are the header files stdio.h and conio.h. Hash include is the preprocessor directive. main is a function, int is its prototype, okay, and printf is a function. So this is the C programming structure, okay. So this was the first program, okay. So what are these stdio.h hash input? These are the header file, okay, and this is also a header file. This is the main function, as I have told. The name is main, okay, and int is the return type, and this was is the opening starting of the main function. This is the print function, and this is the end of main function, okay. So each program must have a main function because the program execution will start from this main function, okay. Every C program can have at most one main function, okay. No C program have more than one main function, okay. It was the main, okay. That means from where the C program execution starts. This is the point where execution begins when the program is run, okay. So what is the line 1 and line 2? As part of compilation, the C compilers run a program called C program. So before executing any program, C compiler runs the C processor program, okay. So what is the do? Suppose this stdio.h, okay, this is the header file, okay. This header file contains this printf function, okay. So printf is a function, okay. So before compiling the code, this printf function will be defined by the stdio.h. In this case, the directive hash include tells the preprocessor to include the code from the file stdio.h, okay. So the preprocessor tell stdio. Or instruct stdio.h to include the file from the printf. The file contains prototype declaration for functions that the program needs to use. Okay. A declaration for the printf and scanf function is in the file. Okay. So the printf and scanf functions are included in this stdio.h. Okay. We have don't use here scanf function. Okay. In our later program we will use the scanf function. Now, what is the function of this line 3? What does it mean? Basically, this statement declares the main function. A C program can contain many functions but must always have one main function. Okay? A function is basically a self-contained module of code that can accomplish some task. The int specifies the return type of main. Okay, so what value it will return. Next, come to the line number 4. That is the starting. The opening bracket denotes the main program. Okay, start of the main program. This symbol is called opening brace. Okay. Next one is line 6. Okay. So this closing bracket denotes the end of the main program. Okay. The symbol is called the open closing bracket basically. Okay. So what is line number 5? It is the printf is a function from standard C library. It is a library function. Okay. So there are basically two types of function. One is user defined function and another one is predefined or library function. Printf is a library function. It is already defined within the compiler. Okay. So printf is a function from standard C library that is used to print strings to the standard output normally in our screen. Okay. The compiler links code from these standard libraries to the code that we have written. Okay. The slash n. Okay. The slash n is basically new line character. Okay. If we want to print anything in a new line, we will use this slash n. So the slash n is special format modifier that tells the printf to put a line print at the end of the line. Okay. Or the starting of the line where we will put it. Okay. So what is the C compilation model? This is the source code. That is source code means what are the program we have written in English language. Okay. So it goes to the preprocessor. Okay. So it goes to the preprocessor. Okay. So after preprocessor, it will move to the compiler. And after compile, if compiler performance, the source code becomes the assembly code. Okay. So it goes to the assembler. And then from assembler, assembler makes the assembly code to the object code. And there are different libraries, okay, also move to the link editor. Okay, so from assembler the object code sent to the link editor and the libraries are also sent to link editor. Okay, and the link editor will then produce the executable code. Okay. So at first we have the source code. Source code goes to the preprocessor. From preprocessor it moves to the compiler. And the compiler produces assembly code. This assembly code goes to the assembler. And from assembler there are object code inserted into the link editor. And on the other hand, libraries defined files are moved to the link editor. And the link editor produces a executable. Okay. Now, what are the keywords in C? Keywords are basically reserved keywords. Okay, reserved words. That's meaning is already defined in the C. We cannot use the keywords as variable name or other function name or anything. Okay, so these words are basically already defined. These are the reserved keyword. Okay, so there are basically 32 words defined as keywords in C. These have predefined uses and be used for any other purposes in a C. They are used by the compiler, okay, as an aid to compiling the program. Okay. Next, they are always written in lowercase. Okay. So the keywords is basically written in lower alphabet. Okay. We cannot write in upper alphabet. Okay. So this is the 32 keywords. Okay. These are the 32 keywords. As you can see that these are the all 32 keywords. Okay. Auto, double, in, struct, break, else. Okay. Then long. Okay. To switch case, enum, register, type, def, char, extend, return, union, constant, float, short, unsigned, continue, for, signed, void, default, go to, size of, volatile, do, if, static, while. These are all the 32 keywords. Okay. Suppose int is a variable, int is a data type, break is a statement, else is a loop. Okay. Long is also a int, switch is a case. Okay. So these are all the different types of keywords. Okay. Next, we have basically three types of variables. Variables are nothing but used to store a value. Okay. Suppose we will stay in a home. Okay. So variable is like a home of the data. Okay. So all the data are stored into the variable. Or we can say that the every data has a name that is called a variable. Okay. There are three types of. One is integer, second one is float, and the third one is a character. Okay. So what is integer? Integer is nothing but the values like 5, 6, 7. Okay, where no decimal is there. Float is the floating point values like 4.2, 5.6, 5.0 are the float. And characters are A, B, C, D. These are all the characters variables. Okay. Next, what is integer variable? These variables are basically used to store whole numbers. Okay. There are several keywords used to declare integer variables, including int, short, long, unsigned short, unsigned long. So these are all the data type that are used to store integer variables. Suppose int, short, int. Okay, this basically depends on the value it is stored, or the lower bound or upper bound, or how many size. Okay, it depends. Next one, the difference deals with the number of bytes used to store the variable in memory. Okay. Integer variables may be negative and positive numbers and are represented as signed and unsigned respectively. So example is int a equals to 10. Okay, this int is the data type and a is the variable. And this variable can store only integer value because its data type is int. As you can see that a can store 10. So, okay. If there is another variable int a underscore var equals to 20. Okay. So a underscore var is another variable. Okay. So this a underscore var, these are the variable name. Okay. So how you can write a variable name? What are the rules of writing a variable name? A variable name basically is any combination of 1 to 31 alphabets. Okay. Digits or underscore. So any combination of 1 to 31 alphabets, digits or underscore. Some compilers allow variable names whose length could be up to 247 characters. Still, it would be safer to stick to the rule of 31 characters. Do not create unnecessarily long variable names as it adds to your typing effort. The first character in the variable name must be an alphabet or underscore. No commas or blanks are allowed within the variable. No special symbol other than an underscore, okay, can be used in a variable name. The rules remain same for all types of primary and secondary variables. Okay. So next is float variable. These variables are also used to store floating point numbers. Okay. Floating point numbers may contain both a whole and fractional part. For example, 52.7 or 3.2 or 5.0. Okay. These are all the example of. Okay. So there are several keywords used to declare floating point numbers in C, including float, double, and long double. Okay. So these are the all float type data type: float, double, and long double. Okay. The difference. What are the differences between float double and long double? The difference here is the number of bytes used to store the variable in memory. Okay. Double allows basically larger values than float. Long double allows even more greater values or more larger values than float and double. So these are the example. Float A equals to 10.5. Float A underscore var equal to 20.0. This A and A underscore var, these are all the variable names. Okay. And float is the data type and these are the values or copy. So what is the character variable? These variables are basically used to store character values. Character variables are declared with the keyword char. These are the example that char A equals to within single bracket A and char A underscore var within quotation X. Okay. Always remember that char will be within the single brace. Okay. Okay. So the character constants will be within the single brace. So what are the constant in C? Okay. What are the constants? Basically, we have two types of constant. One is primary constant and the second one is secondary constant. Okay. Basically, the alphabets, numbers, and special symbols, when properly combined, form constants. Okay. A constant is an entity that does not change, whereas a variable is an entity that may change. Okay. So a constant is a data type of some type that can hold information. It can be reassigned a new value after initialization. Okay. Examples are char a equals to m and int a var equals to 20. So this m and 20, these are all the these m and 20. This is the constant, and this is the m is the character constant, and 20 is the integer constant. Basically, we have two types of constant. One is primary constant, and the second one is secondary constant. Primary constants can be again divided into three parts. One is integer constant, second one is real constant, and the third one is character constant. And secondary constant basically classified into two forms. One is array, second one is pointer, third one is structure, and fourth one is union or enum or etc. Okay. So what are the rules for constructing integer constant? An integer constant must have at least one digit. It must not have a decimal number. It can be either positive or negative. If no sign precedes an integer constant, it is assumed to be a positive number. Okay. No commas or blanks are allowed within an integer constant. Okay. And what are the rules for constructing real constant or float constant? Basically, real constants are often called as floating point constant. It has basically two forms. One is the fractional form and one is the exponential form. Okay. So a real constant must have at least one digit. It must have a decimal point. It could be either positive or negative. Default sign is positive. No commas or blanks are allowed within a real constant. Okay. So the examples are suppose 42.6, 42.6 minus 32.76. Okay. Suppose 45.94. These are all the character constant, float constant. Okay. And what are the rules for constructing a character constant? A character constant is basically a single alphabet, a single digit, or a single special symbol enclosed within a single inverted commas. Okay, so a single digit or single special symbol can be treated as a character constant, but you have to put it in a single quotation. Okay, so these are the data types. Okay, and the in our tabular representation, we have represented that its size, lower bound and upper bound. Here it is char or signed char. Okay, it took one byte of space. Okay, and lower bound means it will store a number from minus 182 to 127. Similarly, unsigned char, it will took one byte of space, and lower bound is 0 and upper bound is 255. Shorting or signed shorting, it took one byte, lower bound minus 128 and upper bound is 127. Unsigned shorting, it took one byte, lower bound is 0, upper bound is 255. Int or signed int, okay, it took 2 bytes space, lower bound is minus 32.768 and upper bound is 32.768. Next is unsigned int, it took also 2 bytes, lower bound is 0 and upper bound is 65.5. Okay, so these are not so much important, lower bound and upper bound, but the sizes are very important. Okay? So long int or signed long int, it took 4 bytes. Unsigned long int, it took 4 bytes. Float also took 4 bytes. Double took 8 bytes and long double took 10 bytes. Okay. So these are the tabular representations of the sizes of a variable or data type. Okay. And also the lower bound and upper bound. So now, basically in our program, we have mainly used two functions. That is, one is printf function and another is scanf function. Printf is for basically the output function, and scanf is the basically the input function. Okay, so printf is the output function, and scanf is the input function. Printf function is part of the standard C library and it is used for formatted output. Okay, it prints to standard output. And what is scanf? The scanf function is also a part of the standard C library and it is used for formatted input. It reads from standard input, which is usually the keyboard. Okay, okay. So now we'll do another program of addition of two numbers. Okay. So before starting, I will want to give you some rules, want to mention some rules of writing C program. Okay. Each instruction in a C program is written as a separate statement. Okay. Therefore, a complete C program would comprise of a series of statements. Okay. So let's start the program. Okay. After that, we will discuss. So this is our C editor. Okay. We will write a C program. Hash input stdio1.8. At first, I will write the program. After that, we will discuss it. Hash input conaya.h. So we will do a program where we add sum of two numbers. Okay. So int a comma b comma sum. Okay. So printf number scanf percentage d ampersand. Again, we will take the second number printf slash into the second number. Okay. Next scanf percentage d. comma ampersand b. Okay. Then sum equals to a plus b. Okay. Printf the result is percentage d. So whose value will be the value of the sum. Okay. So this is the program of, okay. First we have to save it. Okay. So this sum, this is the C program, that is why we will take C save file, and this is sum.c. Okay. We will use the .c extension. I will now saving the program. Next we will run it. So I am taking the first number, that is 12, second number I am taking 23. So the result is 35. Okay. So you can see that the result is 35. Okay. I'm just keeping it here. Okay. So that we can discuss about the output of the program. Okay. So this is the program. So before discussing about the program, I want to say few words. That is, you can see that each instruction in a C program is written in a separate statement. Okay. Therefore, a complete C program would comprise of a series of statements. This is a statement. This is also a statement. So all are the statements. Okay. Each a C program basically consists of many statements. The statements in a program must appear in the same order in which we wish to them to execute it. Okay. So C is basically a top-down approach. Okay. Top-down approach means the C program will start execution from this main to below. Okay. So we will write those statements, okay, in such a order, okay, so that the output will be produced in the same order. Okay. So the statements in a program must appear in the same order in which we wish them to be executed. Unless, of course, the logic of the program demands a deliberate jump or transfer of a control to a statement which is out of sequence. Okay, and that we will see later. Okay, in case of looping or in case of if else condition. Basically, blank spaces may be inserted between two words, okay, to improve the readability of the statements. Okay, as you can see that in space A, comma B, comma sum. Okay, we have given some blank spaces, okay, between two words to improve the readability of the statements. However, no blank spaces are allowed with a variable constant or keyword. Okay, suppose you can see that this is sum. This is a variable name. Okay. We didn't give any space here. Okay. So the sum is there is no space between any variable. All statements are entered in small case letter. This is very important. That is C programming language is a case sensitive. Okay. We cannot write it in uppercase. Okay. It must be written in the lower case. C has no specific rules for the position at which a statement is to be written. That's why it is often called a free-form language. Okay? Every C statement must end with a semicolon. Thus, semicolon acts as a statement terminator. As you can see that after printf there is a semicolon, after scanf there is a semicolon, after taking the variable names we have given a semicolon. After this operation we have taken also a semicolon. So it acts as a statement terminator. Okay. So this is our the program. Okay. Okay. Now come to the basic programs. Okay. So these are the header files as I have told stdio.h, canary.h. These are the precursor directive hashing to. Main is the function, program execution starts from here. Int is the return type or the prototype of the function. There are three variables, int, a, b and sum. Okay. All the a, b and sum, these are the variable names. And the data type of these variables names are int. Okay. So a, b and sum can store only integer values. Next is the printf statement. Okay. This is the new line character slash n. Always remember that whatever we want to print that must be within this double quotation. Okay. Next one is scanf. Scanf is a new function. We don't do it in our previous program. Scanf function is basically used to taking input from the keyboard. Okay. So as you can see that we want to take a number. Okay. And this is ampersand a. Ampersand a means address of a. So where will the number will be stored? The number will be stored into the address of A. So number will be stored in the address of A. So the name of the variable will be A. It will be stored at the address of A. And percent, why it is percent D? Percent D is basically it's the format specifier. Okay. Format specifier means though A is an integer variable. Okay. A can store an integer variable. So we have given percentage D. If there was float A, okay, then we will take percentage A. If A, B and some are character, then we will use percentage D. Okay. So scanf double quotation percent D means we will take an integer value as an input. And where we will store that integer value? We will store that integer value at the address of A. Similarly, we have taken the second number. We will take an integer number through keyboard where we will store that number. We will store that number at the address of B. Okay. After that, there are two values at A position and B position, or A variable stored a value and B variable also stored a value. Okay. After that, we have sum. Okay. Sum equals to A plus B. That means at first the summation of A plus B will be happen. Okay. After that, the result will be stored at the sum variable. Okay. Suppose A is 5 and B is 7. Okay. At first, A and plus B will be happening. That is 5 plus 7 is 12. After that, sum will store that 12. Okay. So the sum now stores 12. The result of A plus B. So we will now print the value of sum. Okay. So as I have told earlier that whatever we want to print that we will write within the double quotation. Okay. So this is the slash n. This is the new line character. This will not print. The print will start from here. The result is okay. So this term will be print. The result is okay. And percent dy, our value will be printed. Okay. We don't know which value will print. Okay. Whose value will print after comma the variable sum. Okay, this is the sum. So the value of sum will be printed here. The result is it will print and after that a value will be print. So whose value will print? The value of some variable will be print. And this is the end of the main function. Okay. So this is all about the basics of C programming structure. So students, I think you will be able to understand what are the basic structure of the C programming language, what are the variables, what are the constants. These are all the basics. Okay. So using these things, we will do more programs. Okay, in our later tutorial, we will discuss many other things about C programming language. Okay, so if you have liked my video, you can subscribe my channel, or if you have any doubt, any query, you can write on the comment section. You can visit www.facebook.com/niladjipal, Twitter classroom Niladjipal to get all the details of my video tutorial. So students, thank you for now. Stay safe. Okay, see you on the next tutorial.